The Detroit Pistons against Chicago Bulls may have very well been a slugging contest, given the amount of physicality involved. The end of the 80s meant the end of the flamboyant ball, and the 90s belonged to some machismo, courtesy of the Pistons, who were determined to physically hurt Michael Jordan and the Bulls. As far as game plans go, the Pistons were ready for Jordan. The infamous Jordan rules was simple, brutal, and effective. Former Pistons coach Brandon Malone described in The Last Dance doco the four-step ideology of the Jordan rules, where he wasn't allowed to drive to the baseline and that the wings would push him to the elbow.
On the wings, we're going to push him to the elbow, and we're not going to let him drive to the baseline. Number two, when he's on top, we're going to influence him to his left. When he got the ball in the low post, we're going to trap him from the top. That's the Jordan rules, and it was that simple.
It wasn't easy going down for Jordan. Not only was his scoring opportunity curbed, but Air Jordan had his wings clipped by Detroit. He learned to take the hits eventually, and that showed the greatness of the man. In a recent interview, Pistons leader back in that time, Isiah Thomas, called out MJ. Isiah apparently still bitter with Jordan and The Last Dance doco, so he had to take a shot at Jordan once again.
The Bulls, Jordan, every time you hit him, he was crying, "Oh, motherfucker!"
You know what?
Going to David Stern's office, going to the commissioner's office, having a meeting about getting hit, getting fouled. You got to change the rules. I'm like, wait a minute. I watch Dr. J get beat up. I watch Magic get beat up. I watch Max get beat up. I watch Bird get beat up. I done got beat up. Everybody get beat up. But wait a minute. Now we got to change the rules because he getting hit. Well, I'm animated about it because he just ain't been telling the truth. On one hand, right, I'm thinking we cool. He asked me to be in his documentary. He asked me to be in The Last Dance. His producers asked me to be in his Last Dance. I didn't think we had a problem. Whatever happened with Dream Team, I'm taking him at his word. You know, he said he didn't have nothing to do with it. Okay, you know, stuff happens, right?
Thomas' feelings towards Jordan shifted throughout the years. Whether it's because of The Last Dance beef or not, Isiah revealed in a conversation with Karl Malone, he has changed his mind on MJ and his GOAT status.
First, I started with Michael. I remember looking directly in his eyes, and it was like, whatever you do, whatever you say, we're gonna beat you. But then when I retired, and then I started, saying, okay, let me get something to back up my opinion. So then I started looking at like what Kareem had done, and I was like, no, wait a minute, time out. And then LeBron comes along, and now he's broken Kareem's record.
The style of play in the 80s and 90s basketball was all about striking fear in the opponents. And the Detroit Pistons, better known as the league's bad boys, played hard and were relentless when it came to putting the players through the ringer, something MJ knows well about. In what was a very Rocky-like move, Jordan sized up, packed some muscle, and overcame the Pistons' threat after losing to them for 3 consecutive playoffs in 1988, 1989, and 1990. He wasn't allowed to be pummeled in 1991, and the Bulls took the fight to Detroit, eventually beating them. In the end, it was Jordan rules. Tell us in the comments, was Thomas fair with calling out MJ in that manner? And if you enjoy this video, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. For even more basketball content, subscribe to our other channels, Free Dawkins and Vintage Dawkins, and follow us on social media.